The Four Seasons of Eden, an esoteric journey of consciousness. The Garden of Eden, often confined to a static image of a lost paradise, holds within its symbolic narrative a profound esoteric map of consciousness. It is not merely a historical location, but a dynamic archetype, mirroring the unfolding journey of the human soul and the collective spirit of humanity. Through its metaphorical seasons, though distinct, they flow into one another, revealing a timeless process of evolution from unconscious unity to conscious co-creation. The Genesis bloom, the unveiled unity before any discernible season took hold. There was the primordial state of existence within the garden. This was the Genesis bloom, a time of unitive perception and blissful unawareness, a state of perfect harmony before the advent of perceived separation. Consciousness flowed as a pure, unfragmented stream, perfectly receptive and inherently wise, untainted by the lens of judgment. The very air vibrated with a singular divine frequency, a profound silence pregnant with potential, a true ground of being, where existence was effortless and interconnected. The tree of knowledge of good and evil stood not as a malevolent trap, but as a symbolic potentiality, a dormant seed of discrimination, a promise of consciousness's eventual, albeit painful, expansion. Its existence implied a future capacity for choice that was not yet awakened, a latent power within the blueprint of creation. The prohibition against its fruit was not an arbitrary command, but an energetic truth. To engage with duality, to awaken to separation before the consciousness was prepared, would inevitably lead to disorientation and a profound shift in being. This state of unblemished innocence was akin to the unified field of pure consciousness, prior to the emergence of any specific thought or form, a state of undifferentiated being, existing effortlessly within the boundless perfection of the divine. Life unfolded in a timeless present, without past regrets or future anxieties, a harmonious resonance with the heart of the cosmos, where every particle shimmered with divine presence. The fall of man, the long autumn of duality. The bite from the tree of knowledge marks the dramatic onset of humanity's first true season, the fall of man. This was not merely an act of disobedience, but a cosmic expansion of consciousness, an initiation into the vast, often bewildering, realm of experience. With the knowledge of good and evil came the immediate perception of self versus other, light versus shadow, pleasure versus pain, gain versus loss. This was a profound energetic severing from the unitive vibration, a necessary fracturing that introduced polarity into existence. This dramatic shift ushered in the long autumn of duality, a period of relentless, often harsh, growth through lived experience. This autumn is eternal in its lessons, spanning millennia of human history, marked by the dynamic, often violent, interplay of opposing forces. Like leaves turning brilliant hues before their inevitable descent, humanity's consciousness expanded into myriad forms of expression, both beautiful and destructive. It was the era of humanity learning through trial and error, through the rise and fall of civilizations, through cycles of creation and destruction, love and hate, wisdom and ignorance. The ego, born from the awareness of self, embarked on its long, complex journey of definition and striving, often mistaking separation for strength and control for liberation. Humanity built empires, waged wars, created magnificent art, and developed intricate philosophies, all driven by the inherent tension of its new dualistic perception. This was the long, arduous crucible where the understanding of consequence and the deep, often buried, longing for lost unity became profoundly etched into the human soul. The very concept of linear time, of cause and effect, became a dominant force, a reflection of consciousness constantly moving from one perceived state to another, always seeking resolution to inherent tension. The air itself seemed to carry the echoes of forgotten harmony, interspersed with the clamor of human striving and the subtle undertones of unseen influences that subtly amplified the discord. Third, the Edenic winter, the stillness of severance and purification. The Edenic winter represents a crucial pivot point, a profound interlude of deep recalibration and purification. This winter is not about coldness or death in a literal sense, but about the surgical removal of all that is false, all that is parasitic, all that obscures true perception. It is a phase of cosmic stillness and shedding, a necessary energetic reset for the collective consciousness. This signifies the disengagement from any subtle, unseen influences that have manipulated human thought and emotion for eons, allowing consciousness to turn deeply inward and shed programmed behaviors. This winter marks the withdrawal of externalized, malevolent influence, allowing consciousness to realize its own inherent autonomy. It is the profound breath the soul takes when it realizes it is uncluttered by superimposed agendas, a liberation from invisible chains. For humanity, this means facing its own raw, unamplified nature, confronting its inherent tendencies without the constant nudges of ancient manipulation. It is a stripping away of false idols, both external, societal narratives of division, false promises of quick fixes, and internal, ingrained patterns of fear, reactivity, and self-deception. Esoterically, it parallels the dark night of the soul on a planetary scale, a necessary period of profound emptiness and quietude, an internal silence where the echoes of ancient lies fade, where superficial patterns of thought dissolve, and deeper truths begin to surface. This period allows the dormant seeds of genuine self-awareness to settle and prepare for a new kind of growth. The second spring, a bloom of conscious choice. From the profound stillness of the Edenic winter emerges the second spring, a new genesis of unadulterated potential. This spring is not a return to the unconscious innocence of the primordial garden, nor is it a blind leap into utopia. Instead, it is a vibrant conscious awakening, marked by the blossoming of true unburdened conscious choice and the reemergence of clear, unclouded empathy. Humanity, no longer subtly coerced, begins to truly understand and exercise its free will with unprecedented clarity and responsibility. The struggle between good and evil remains, but it is now a fair fight within the human heart, its outcome genuinely determined by individual and collective volition, free from unseen amplification. This period sees humanity actively tending the garden of its own collective soul. It is a phase of deliberate cultivation where the virtues of compassion, cooperation, and wisdom are nurtured with intention and understanding. Individuals and communities begin to prioritize shared well-being over narrow self-interest, driven by an authentic, heartfelt yearning for harmony that arises from within. Innovation and progress become deeply rooted in ethical foresight, and societal structures are designed not just for efficiency, but for the holistic flourishing of all beings and the planet. The absence of the old static allows for clearer communication, deeper understanding between diverse cultures, and a collective shedding of historical grievances, paving the way for genuine reconciliation and the building of bridges based on mutual respect and shared purpose. This second spring is a testament to the divine gamble of free will, proving that given true autonomy, humanity, though flawed, possesses an inherent, powerful yearning for goodness, truth, and beauty, ready to bloom into its higher potential. The fifth element, the Akasha of integration. Beyond the four distinct seasons lies the fifth element, not a sequential phase, but a transcendent quality that permeates and unites them all. This is the Akasha of integration, the ethereal substance of consciousness where all experiences, all lessons, all struggles of the preceding seasons are absorbed, transmuted, and understood as integral parts of a larger divine tapestry. It is the universal solvent of duality, allowing for the deep synthesis of knowledge gained through separation. The Akasha of integration signifies the point where the harsh lessons of the autumn of duality, the purification of the winter, and the conscious blossoming of the second spring are not merely remembered, but understood at a soul level. It's the realization that the journey through perceived evil was essential for the full conscious embrace of good. This element manifests as profound wisdom, radical self-acceptance, and unconditional love for all aspects of creation, because the necessity of every experience, even the painful ones, is recognized. It is the underlying field of interconnectedness that allows for the flow of conscious co-creation in the eternal summer, where the individual consciousness resonates with the universal, drawing from an infinite wellspring of integrated knowledge and purpose. Vyes, the eternal summer, a symphony of conscious co-creation. Having integrated the fifth element, the second spring flows into the eternal summer. This is not a summer of endless, static warmth or complacent ease, but of perpetual growth, vibrant flourishing, and boundless self-directed potential. It represents the culmination of humanity's long, arduous journey, a living testament to the divine gamble of free will and the profound wisdom gained through ages of conscious, uncoerced choice. In this phase, the perceived Eden is no longer a distant memory or a veiled sanctuary. Its perfected, uncorrupted harmony now subtly infuses the entire Earth's energetic field, for humanity itself embodies its essence. The veil thins not to allow entry, but because the distinction between inner and outer paradise begins to dissolve. This is humanity actively engaging in conscious co-creation, where challenges are met with collective wisdom, boundless empathy, and innovative solutions born from a genuine desire for shared well-being. The knowledge of good and evil, once the source of division, is no longer a curse, but a sacred tool for discernment, allowing for conscious alignment with higher good. This is not a return to unconscious innocence, but an evolution to a conscious, chosen virtue, a state far more profound and resilient than the original, untried perfection. Life is lived with profound meaning, where every individual contributes to the tapestry of universal flourishing. The next nexus, the interdimensional garden. Beyond the culmination of the eternal summer and the full integration of the fifth element lies a conceptual next nexus, a gateway to an entirely new dimension of Edenic experience. This is the understanding that the garden is not confined to a single plane of existence, but is an interdimensional template, a blueprint for perfect harmony that can manifest across various spiritual and material realms. This nexus signifies the expansion of human consciousness beyond the physical earthly plane, reaching towards higher spiritual dimensions. As humanity's collective vibration rises, it begins to perceive and interact with other layers of reality, revealing that Eden exists not just as a historical memory or a current state, but as a multidimensional archetype. The wisdom gained from the fall and the winter, integrated through the Akasha, provides the necessary discernment to navigate these higher planes responsibly, ensuring that the purity of the eternal summer extends into new frontiers of existence. This nexus suggests that the act of conscious co-creation is not limited to the physical world, but extends to the very fabric of reality itself, allowing for interaction with beings and energies from other dimensions of the grand cosmic design. It is the blossoming of the human spirit into a truly cosmic consciousness, participating in the grand cosmic tapestry. The opposite of Eden, the void of unchoice. In the esoteric map of Eden, understanding its true nature also necessitates contemplating its ultimate antithesis, the void of unchoice. This is not a physical place, nor even a season, but a theoretical state of absolute stagnation, the inverse of evolution and conscious flourishing. It is the conceptual space that would have emerged if the divine spark of free will had never been truly ignited, or, more chillingly, if after the fall the subtle, manipulative influences had never been severed, leading to a complete and utter suppression of genuine autonomy. The void of unchoice is characterized by absolute entropy in consciousness, where creativity ceases, and all potential lies dormant, unmanifested, perpetually locked in a state of undifferentiated, yet utterly inert nullity. There is no joy, no suffering, no growth, only an abyssal stillness devoid of life's dynamic force. It is the ultimate consequence of neglecting or betraying the sacred gift of free will, demonstrating what is avoided by embracing the arduous, yet ultimately liberating journey of the four seasons. This opposite serves as a stark reminder of the profound value of the path chosen by humanity, illuminating the true nature of liberty through its chilling counterpoint. 7. The 11th element, the cosmic recursion. The number 7 holds profound significance in many esoteric traditions, often symbolizing spiritual perfection, completion, and divine order. However, within the multi-layered Edenic journey, 7 reveals itself as the 11th element, signifying a cosmic recursion and the ultimate integration beyond mere linear progression. The concept of 7 here represents the full cycle of the 4 seasons: autumn, winter, second spring, eternal summer, preceded by the Genesis bloom and followed by the 5th element of Akasha and the next nexus. This total configuration of 7 distinct yet interconnected archetypal states, from initial unity to interdimensional co-creation, becomes the 11th element in a broader cosmic context. It implies that this entire Edenic journey, this grand process of conscious evolution, is itself a completed cycle that then serves as a single, fundamental, cosmic recursion. It suggests that the perceived end of the eternal summer, or the successful navigation of the next nexus, is simultaneously the inception of a new, higher dimensional cycle of creation and experience, now undertaken with complete self-awareness and mastery. The wisdom gained through the journey of the fall and the subsequent seasons is not merely accumulated, but becomes the very fabric of this perfected, eternally expanding, divine human consciousness. This 11th element signifies that the universe itself is an endlessly unfolding Eden, where each completed cycle of learning and integration becomes the ground for even grander, more complex expressions of conscious existence throughout the cosmos. Conclusion. The ever-unfolding garden of being. The esoteric journey through the four seasons of Eden, culminating in the transcendent elements of Akasha, the next nexus, and the profound recursion of the 11th element, offers a rich tapestry for understanding the evolution of consciousness. It reveals that Eden is far more than a lost historical garden. It is a living metaphor for the soul's epic voyage from unconscious unity to self-aware, co-creative mastery. This intricate mapping demonstrates that the fall was not an arbitrary punishment, but a necessary, albeit painful, expansion into the realm of duality, crucial for the development of genuine free will. The subsequent seasons of purification and conscious choice then become the crucible through which humanity matures, transcending mere innocence to embody a deeply earned wisdom and virtue. The void of unchoice stands as a chilling reminder of the profound value of this journey, highlighting the vital essence of autonomy. Ultimately, the Edenic narrative speaks to a cosmic design where the highest form of perfection is not static, but dynamic, not compelled, but freely chosen. It suggests that the universe itself is an ever-unfolding garden, a continuous process of creation where consciousness, having traversed its own archetypal seasons, becomes a radiant, integral participant in the boundless, ongoing expression of the divine. The journey never truly ends, for the very act of conscious unfolding is the eternal paradise.